This video is about anyone planning a wedding. If you're going to be planning your wedding in the next 5-10 years, make sure you watch this video to the end. You will learn something that will totally put you ahead and save you a lot of embarrassment, costs, and confusion. So make sure you just watch till end and take your pen and paper and write down. My friend just finished his wedding and we noted a lot of things and wrote down a lot of things. So I'm just going to open your eyes to a lot of things. So first of all, make sure you click and share this video so that younger people will watch this in your class group, in your family group, Facebook. Share it, all right? And click the heart icon to like, and then drop a comment. Let me know the most important thing you learned here. If you do all this for TikTok will always show you my next videos, and Instagram will always show you more and more of my videos. All right. Okay, so make sure you follow me. Click on my name and go and follow me. Right. So here's the thing. Right. Number one, as a man, any woman you want to marry and she's insisting on a flamboyant wedding, that's a red flag. Forget about the wedding. The marriage itself is going to have a lot of problems. You understand? If she's pushing you to spend more money to have a certain kind of wedding that she has in her mind, it means she has spent many years thinking about a certain kind of wedding, not the marriage. So all her life she has been looking for the victim that will fulfill that kind of wedding, fantasy wedding. Many women have a lot of fantasies. The way men fantasize about toys, like the day they will drive a good car or own a mansion, women fantasize about some things too. Example, wedding. The only difference is that when a man is thinking about driving a car, he's thinking about getting it himself. But sometimes when a woman is thinking about her own fantasies, she's looking for a man that will fulfill it. This is truth. If you like, argue. That's your own. So it's a red flag, right? You should not proceed with that wedding. I'm going to tell you the truth the way it is. Now, it doesn't mean that a woman will not have fantasies about her wedding. It's natural, right? We're talking about when it's excessive. A good example is wedding gowns. You need to know that the cost of renting wedding gowns is roughly the same with the cost of buying wedding gowns. So if you're the wife you are going to marry, or you as a woman, if you don't have junior sisters, don't buy the gown. But if you have junior sisters that will be married in the next 2 to 5 years, buy the gown once. Don't rent it. Buy it once. It's the same cost, roughly. And two, you don't need expensive wedding gowns. You don't need it. If your wife to be is insisting on an expensive wedding gown, be careful. Don't proceed. There's a problem. She's trying to fulfill a fantasy. Most wedding gowns within a certain range look alike. Most wedding gowns look alike, right? For instance, you can't tell a difference between 100, or let's say 200,000 naira wedding gown or 150,000 naira wedding gown and a 1 million naira wedding gown. The only difference is that the back of the wedding gown will flow. You will need like 4 or 5 maid of honor to carry it. And that reminds me, right? Any woman that has that long wedding gown has a long ego, because women are the ones that choose their wedding gown. You as a man, you cannot go to where they rent wedding gown and choose for your wife. No. So you have to go with her, or you give her money to go and rent. If she goes there and rents something really large, she has a large ego. She's trying to impress somebody. There is a movie fantasy she's trying to fulfill. So you need to go with her. So you select the one within your budget. You get. So don't go with all those extra flamboyant wedding. Nice wedding gown is okay. Don't over. Then, secondly, if you are doing your wedding, you need to know that sometimes having somebody come and cook the food, the meal, is cheaper than buying already cooked one on that wedding day. You get. So sometimes somebody will come to the house of the woman if where the compound wherever they are doing the wedding is cheaper. Three, you don't need wedding halls. If you are trying to be conservative, you don't need wedding halls. If you have all the money in the world and you want to rent a wedding hall, that's good. Some weddings are source of fundraising. Fundraising, for instance, if you're a politician or celebrity, yeah, you can use wedding halls because the dignitaries that will come there, they will raise funds for you. So they have to be in a nice place. But if you are just an average Joe and you don't give a damn about who is coming, in terms of you don't need a wedding hall. You can still do a high class wedding without a wedding hall. You can use the compound where you are, put nice canopies, and you're good. Canopies are in grades. There's a normal one that you see in burials. Then there is the high class one, tent. I think they call that one tent. Okay? You don't need tent. You need normal canopy. The only thing is that the main canopy where the dignitaries will stay, you arrange it very well. They'll put balloons, put all those clothing. That's it. The chairs, they can wrap the chairs of the dignitaries with, some design. And the high table. That's it. You don't need to wrap all the chairs. You don't need to do design from the gate entrance of the place to the back. You don't need it. Okay? Some houses have a compound, then they have a street. The street can also serve. As you are putting chairs in the compound, you can put chairs in the street and put canopy down there outside the compound. You are good. Instead of blowing half of your income on a wedding hall, it's only when you want to do wedding you notice that you will now discover that there is an entire industry around it. Number 3, on your wedding day, even though it's good to call a photographer, you should have a photographer standby. That's another expense. Most photographers charge a lot, right? But it's your wedding day. Like, you need to have professional photographs. Remember to take your own photographs. So if you have your best man, let them be snapping. Don't depend on the photograph of the photographer. Sometimes photographers take weeks or even months before they can get together the whole photograph package and send to you. The package will always involve things like, what do you call it? Picture frames, certain albums, and sometimes it just takes time for them to come up with all these things. Videos that they made on the wedding day, they have to compile it into a flash drive and so on, or upload all onto Google Drive before they send to you, But generally, you want to take your own pictures because your own pictures are the ones that will be ready that day, because after the wedding, you can review your own pictures. You get? So try and take your own pictures. Now, on your wedding day, most people that attended your wedding day, that will be the last time you're going to see them. Like the elders that will come on your wedding day, you're not going to see them again. Especially some of you that came from like abroad, you want to do your wedding in your town, and then you go. You don't go see them again. The next thing you hear that they don't die. So try and take pictures with as many of them as possible. You get? So on your wedding day, don't just go and sit under your wedding table or whatever and then chill. Everything will just be happening around you. No. Try and take pictures with as many of the guests as possible. You will never see them again. In future, you'll be telling your children that this is your uncle's auntie in the picture and that this woman is the one that gave birth to this, So always try on your wedding day to be alert to get all the nice pictures. Now, when it comes to expenses on that wedding day, be careful because a lot of people want to scam you. So you need to mount somebody who is going to keep guard of food that is being distributed. Some people are coming to your wedding to steal food. They can move one food pot like this. Pot that is supposed to feed 20 people. They will move them. You don't go see pot. You don't go see traces of pot. You understand? You may cook 5 big pots of rice. One will feed 20 people. After the wedding, when you're not counting, you see only 4. They don't carry one for head run. No trial. And even if you are doing the wedding in Eco Hotel or the highest hotel in the whole world, Radisson Blue, they still move your pot. So you have to get your trusted right-hand man to man the room where they put food and drinks. And they have to write out the people, each canopy, each group of people that will come, the drinks they will take. The guy has to be using lists to give the drinks. You don't just give drinks at random. So the in-laws, the female in-laws of the mother's side, they have their own 5 crates of drink, 10 crates of this. That one is packed already. Before the wedding is even, or reception is starting, they have packed it. This one, that one, they have packed it. This one, that one, they have packed it. You get? Now, a common cause of problem is who handles the money that is sprayed on the wedding day. Don't be surprised that many marriages have crashed because of that. because on the wedding day they sprayed money. The side of the woman's side, the bride side will say that they own the money. The groom side, they will say they own the money. Fight start. World War III. So you guys have to decide it before it starts. And the thing with what causes this thing is usually when poor families marry, right? Most people often forget that the person footing the bills of the marriage, for instance, or the wedding. For instance, the man might be the one footing the bills of the wedding. He has paid for canopy, he's paid for food, he paid for everything. And somebody from the woman's side will just show up and say that that they want the money that was paid, that they deserve it. Is it not half of their wedding? They need to split it 50-50. So you as a man, you have to prevent somebody from having that kind of access. Okay, the money that was paid on that day is for you as a man that sponsored the wedding. You decide who to give it to, which is your wife, or you split it with your wife, or you and your wife can decide that it's not big enough. You now carry it and split and give to mother-in-law, father-in-law, use it to do something, or even settle bills, because on that day you have a lot of bills. My guy was just transferring money on his wedding day. Pay for canopy, pay for this, pay for that. And that reminds me, don't pay ahead for everything on your wedding day. Pay 50-50-50. So the guys that will bring the canopy, they will count the cost. You pay them half of it. You hold half. If you pay them full, on that day you may not even see canopy. They will be telling you something else. They have rented it to somebody else. So pay half. The food they are going to supply, the guys that will get the food and everything, try and pay half. I understand that some things they will not accept half. At least you can pay up to 70%. Hold 30%. Don't ever pay full. This is Africa. Once you pay full, you will not see the service again. You will now be pursuing the person with police after the marriage to go and return the money, refund you your money. So you need decoration, right? Wedding decor. You see all those big banners where they will put John and Jolene are marrying. They'll put your picture and design it. You don't need that thing. That big banner is expensive. Unless you can afford it, you don't need it. Your wedding should not cost up to 30 to 40% of your savings. You understand? Because you still have marriage. Wedding is one day event. Don't blow your whole savings on it. You don't need that. You understand? Just find a good background. If it's in front of the church, take your nice wedding picture in front of the church. Any good photographer can get you nice wedding picture, nice background in front of the church. You can even do your wedding shoot before the wedding. You know that, right? You can go to a studio with the wedding gown and your suit and everything and take nice pictures. You don't need to print banner of anything. You get? Now, what of the wedding card? You can print wedding card. But if you don't have money, you don't need wedding card. This is 2020, what now? Nobody needs wedding card. People can get things via WhatsApp. They can get announcement. You can design it, right? They will get it via WhatsApp, via Facebook, and so on. You visit people one-on-one and give them, and or invite them. You call people on phone and invite. Nobody needs wedding card. Wedding card is just formality. So if it boils down to where wedding card is going to cost you money, you don't need it, right? Just make sure you call people, inform them, forward SMSs. You don't need wedding card. But you can design it so it will be on WhatsApp. You can share to group, add everybody to one group, WhatsApp, put it there. Or broadcast list. If you put everybody on broadcast list, you drop your listing. You have invited them all. There are some people that you can't invite like that to your wedding. You have to go physically. You get? You even go with something. There are some dignitaries you must go to their house to invite them one-on-one. Those ones, you go and invite them. Some even you go with drink. But you don't need wedding card. Now, on your wedding day, you will need people that will direct crowd. So if you have your goons, they can do that. But also you can rent bouncers. People think bouncers are expensive. They're not expensive. You can hire bouncers. Easy. Okay? 2, 3, 4 bouncers. Those bouncers, if you give them instruction, a bouncer can even help you with manning, controlling food. You understand? They can help you with controlling crowd. People that will come. Some people will come to your wedding to drag seats or fight. Bouncer will just bounce them out, bounce them back to their village. So, your wedding, you have to be sure of how you are doing expenses. If you are not sure on your wedding day, you will do expenses. Now, any budget you plan for your wedding, always put some extra because there will be miscellaneous costs For instance, you can just hear that things have been suddenly increased. You have planned that every something, let's say, buses that will bring people, because wedding often requires travel. So the bride's family have to travel, or the groom's family have to travel, and you, the guy planning the wedding, will be the one to handle the cost, unless primarily, unless you have like uncles and aunties that want to contribute. So on that day, you can just hear that something that used to cost 100,000 naira is now costing 150,000 naira. While I don't enter, and it's beyond your budget, so you have to put extra. Whatever you budget for the wedding, put extra on hand. So at the end of the day, you will see that there are ways you can do your wedding very expensive and ways you can do it cheap. Remember that you don't need reception for your wedding. Many people married without reception. So if you want to avoid reception, do church wedding and don't invite many people. After the wedding, you can put your reception 5 years later, 10 years later. You will now call it a wedding anniversary celebration. So if push comes to shove, maybe your wife to be is pregnant, or you as a woman, you're already pregnant, and you know that you guys have money, but the money is not enough to go and blow on a wedding, do your church wedding, or that's the equivalent of doing introduction. In traditional wedding, you do introduction. That means you carry 5, 6, 10 of your people, go to the bride's family. You people will sit in a place in the compound, introduce yourself. We are the one that want to marry your daughter, or blah 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 blah. They will call out the daughter, go and come and identify your husband for us, and everything. Once you have done that, your marriage is on according to traditional rites. You have already married. The rest is what? Formality. So you can continue like that till you are ready. Most marriages that start broke don't end broke. Within 5, 4, 5, 10 years, they have already stabilized. They can do the biggest wedding in the world. There's a Nigerian celebrity that did it. When she married, nobody knew her, but now she's a celebrity, so she now redid the marriage. You get what I'm saying? So if you're a young couple, don't be pressed so much into blowing your phone. Don't borrow. It doesn't make sense that you borrow for your wedding. It doesn't make sense under any circumstance. Church wedding is not costly. If you're a Christian, you want to do wedding in church, you meet your pastor, you go through the marriage classes or whatever. At the end of the day, you wed in church. You don't need reception. Your father is there, your mother is there, father's bride, mother's bride, blah, blah, blah. That's it. If you're doing reception, all of them can head to a restaurant after the church. How much will you spend in a restaurant to feed the whole people? Highest 50K. Everybody has eaten well. You take pictures. That is it. Every other person will get the information later. You will now schedule your distance whenever you are financially ready. You can also merge the two. You can do, in Africa, they do 2, 3 weddings. One couple would, I don't know who came up with that idea. You do church wedding, you do traditional wedding, still do court wedding. So in Africa, so you can merge the 2 or the 3 together if you want to do the 3. You understand? In the same day. Because court wedding doesn't take anything, you just go to the court. So you can do it on Monday, you can marry on Sunday, on Monday you and your bride will go to court and sign papers. So now, your church wedding on your church wedding day, you can go to church in the morning by 8 a.m. By 10 a.m., you people are married in church. Then you move to the reception. The reception is where the traditional marriage will hold. So the traditional marriage will start the reception. You understand? Once the traditional rites are done and everything, the rest is reception. So that's how you can do the 2 together. So you don't need to do separate one this year, next year you do another one, you're just feeding strangers. Unless you have the money. So I'm just showing you how to cut costs. Any amount of money you bring for your wedding will eat it. So you have to be smart to budget any amount of money, because once you want to do wedding, you'll be getting ideas on things to do. You have to build an aeroplane that is flying across the sky and write, will you be my bride? You have to do this, 2 helicopters. Any amount of money you bring. There was a wedding that cost, how much is it? I think $60 million. And the funny thing is, the more costly your wedding, the more likely that the marriage will not last. Because when you're making it more and more flamboyant, some ladies might be thinking, am I that important? So I'm actually that important, I never knew. But why is he blowing all this money for me? Wow, all these people came for me. Some ladies have never seen crowd. Even some guys that are married, they have never seen large crowd that is held for them. Now imagine that your lady is not smart. There are many smart ladies, right? That's why many marriages are okay, right? But there will be few. There will always be few that will say, "So all these people gather for me. That means I'm actually worth more." Some marriages are broken because the dignitaries that came on the wedding day exchanged number with the bride. From there, one day you hear that the marriage has broken. Who is the bride going to? One of the people that attended the wedding. It shock you. It shock you. So it's always better to do a smaller wedding, even if you have 1 billion, billions of dollars. A smaller wedding is always better. Do a small wedding, large honeymoon. Maybe after the wedding, 1 month after the wedding, you guys can go travel around, travel the world, do everything. The worst you can ever do to yourself is to borrow as a man and do your wedding. You are starting the marriage with stress because now you have to pay back after the wedding. A wedding is just one day. You have to pay back. You'll be in debt for many months. And if the basic things in your house you can't afford it, you will now learn what it means to marry because your wife will not tolerate that. Imagine that the gas has finished and you don't have money to refill the gas. You understand? Your wife will start thinking, did I marry the wrong man? That my ex that was asking me out was actually better. He could have afforded gas. You get? So if you're marrying, you have to know that you have to keep the majority of your savings for the marriage itself. Small for wedding, savings, the rest of your money for marriage. And most people that marry, within 1 year, the wife is pregnant or giving birth. It's only when you give birth you now know that there is more expenses because now you're taking care of 3 people. You, your wife, and your child. All the expenses of giving birth to a new child, you have to buy a lot of things. And now it doesn't stop there. Sometimes your mother-in-law, the mother of your wife, the younger brother of your wife, you are taking care of that one. The school fees of the last born of your wife's relative sister, your expenses will just be appearing from nowhere. So always budget yourself very well. Don't borrow to do your wedding. You get? So I hope I've covered everything relatively with marriage. If there's more things, I'll do a part 2. Just make sure you share this video. Click the share button. Click this plus sign to follow me. And drop a comment to let me know which of the things I said made the most sense to you. Now, just before I close, if you're in Africa, avoid court marriage. Court marriage is foreign culture. And it's not our culture. So you can't raise yourself in African culture for 25 years, 30 years, or however number of years you stayed before marriage. And when you now want to start the second part of your life, which is your married life, you now switch to Western culture. And you're not even in the West. When you do court marriage, in traditional marriage, when you marry, it's the 2 families that are married. So before a divorce will happen, the 2 families will come together and decide a divorce, not the 2 couples. 2 couples can separate, but for the marriage to break, the 2 families have to come together. And usually they're able to resolve the issue. But when you do court marriage, the 2 couples are married to the state. So the 2 couples are actually wives. The state is the husband. So for them to separate, the state has to decide whether they should separate or not, and the terms of the separation. Do you know that 2 couples can go to court and say they want to separate? The state will say, no, you can't separate, go back and resolve the issue. Because what? Both of you are wives. You're just male and female wives. So that's why if you want to separate, you have to go and sit before a judge, stand before a judge and explain your whole life and expose all your family secrets, everything, say all the bad words, and your lawyers will be by your side, whispering in your ears to do evil, bitter things to your spouse. You understand? This is somebody that you have always loved, you still love him or love her. You just don't feel that at this stage you guys can stay together. You just want to separate. Simple something, right? But when you go to court, you're going for court cases. Lawyers will be adding fire. Before you know it, you want to totally destroy the woman. The woman wants to destroy you, doesn't want you to see the kids again. She's fighting for custody in court, blah, 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 blah. It's crazy. So, court marriage in Africa, personally, I don't think I recommend it. Even church marriage, many people don't know that most churches are registered with the government. Government recognizes church marriage. as an official marriage. So after you have done your marriage, the church still has to submit your marriage certificate to the state. So when you want to divorce, the whole divorce will still go through that process. You see? So if you're not ready for certain kind of things, don't go into it. Don't just go because this is what people are doing. Traditional marriage in Africa permits things like polygamy. A man can marry many wives. In fact, in some traditions, a woman can marry many husbands. Few, but there are traditions where, under traditional marriage customs, a woman can still pick another husband. Yeah, you understand? Things like infidelity are not deal breakers under traditional customs, but these things are evidence that can be brought to you against you in court marriage. Things like like having child out of wedlock, like a man marries a wife and impregnates another woman, or vice versa. A woman brings in a child that is not the husband's own. These things don't really mean much under traditional context. Some traditions will tell you your child is your child, you have to still take care of the child. But in court, they will bring it as evidence. You understand? And then they will use it to judge you. You get? So a lot of things are not really good, especially to men in marriages, and to women. If you're going into something, you have to also think about being able to live it with your sanity. In court marriage, when you are breaking up, it's usually bitter divorce because of the way it is set up. And at the same time, sometimes it becomes financially devastating. It destroys you financially because court will just wake up one day and decide how much you're going to pay your wife or to be or your husband. As if you're a woman and you're richer than the man, you'll be paying him money for divorcing him. It's crazy. If you're a man and you're richer than the woman, you'll be paying her. So, and then they will start dragging inheritance. It's crazy. Like divorce, anybody that's gone through court divorce will tell you that is one of the worst things any person can experience. So really, you don't need it. Yeah, foreign countries accept church marriages. In some foreign countries, if you are church, because church is registered with the states, so they accept church marriages. Some people would do traditional marriage and chill. It's only when they want to travel and they feel that they need a certain kind of marriage, and then they can do it. If you don't ever need it, don't do it. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. If you're watching my video for the first time and you totally stayed through and enjoyed this, you need to know that I do even more. So click this plus sign to follow me, click the heart icon, and drop a comment in the comment section below, and share. Some people need to see this.